Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero. Last time we investigated further into the Heyu case and guns, also the miner, and found some mysterious drugs, and we suspect LoH is involved with these. And then we got some new requests, but before we do those, I want to look about... what's good with you guys? You got a bone to pick with me? Wouldn't mind thrashing you guys if you're asking for it. I managed to snatch up Jet's position of the Vipers. Bow down to my true powers. If both people want to throw down, then who's to stop them? Saber Vipers are all about survival of the fittest. Is it just me, or is everyone acting a little off today? Did something happen to the Vipers, Walt? A bunch of pigs like you have no reason to be sticking your nose in our business. They're just a stupid argument between a couple of my boys. Get lost or use your heads as batting practice. A throwdown within the Vipers, huh? Didn't see that one coming. Likewise, Walt usually roots with an iron fist. Okay, we can't... That little punk thinks he can just take Jet's position like that? Damn it all, I wish Walt hadn't stopped because I would have beaten his ass into next week. Damn it, it's tense in here. It's just me, or does Walt have a totally scary looking aura around him? He looks super pissed. Why did it have to come to this? Jet got sent to the hospital because of Dino. What happened to that kid? Apparently one of the Viper's underlings has been acting strangely. I bet it's that little rookie of theirs. He's been trying to mess with us every day. Once he told us not to lay a finger on him, though. Damn it, just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Man, if only I had Vasi's permission, I would give that rookie a beatdown he'd never forget. I checked it out earlier. It seems it's really true. One of the Viper's leaders was beaten to a pulp and sent to the hospital. I don't get how. Leave it to those idiots to let it happen. The Vipers have been quarreling amongst themselves. There's no point in worrying about those rat worms. Interesting. I had a rumor that the Vipers have been fighting amongst themselves. I hate the Vipers, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried. Oh, do you wish to speak with Vasi? I heard about Heyu's office being raided. LoH is acting far too recklessly. Won't end up simply taking revenge at this rate, will it? I fear you may be right. Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? If I were Heyu, I'd definitely be giving them a nice little thank you for the present they gave. How inept do you have to be to not kill their boss in a raid like that? If I were LoH, I would have definitely made plans to silence him. Permanently. I sometimes forget how dangerous Vasi can truly be. Just because Dino seems to have changed so drastically that he probably also has taken the drug. I wanted to investigate that. Hey Marie, what do you think could have happened to Father? Do you know anything about it? Huh? Where are you guys? Kind of on edge right now, so do me a favor and piss off. Screw the manager, where does he get off telling me I have a big ego? Who the hell does he think got us through that whole shit show? So they changed the people apparently affected by the drug. And... Mr. Grimwood, maybe? Mr. Grimwood has got a bunch of work to do. Are you busy working too? If so, keep doing your best out there, everyone. I have other work I ought to be focusing on, but I must say this whole Heyu matter is really nagging on me. Abnormal physical abilities? I feel like I've heard something just like that drug during an incident involving a cult. It's probably just my imagination though. I have other work I ought to be focusing on, but I must... And apparently Theo knows something about that too? Where do we start? The graveyard, probably. Mr. Quint, sorry to bother you. The police? That's right, sir. We're from the special support section coming about your request. Well then, I want you to bring me 3 different kinds of flowers to place on the graves. Would there be any chance you could take this request on from me right now? Sure. We can start right away, sir. Glad to hear it. I'll get straight to the point. Got pen and paper on you? I'll tell you which flowers you need to collect. Ready for the first one? Yes. Theo, mind writing it down? Roger. First, the Leavis flower. You'll find them blooming near the police academy on West Crossbell Highway. Second, we have a Requiem flower. I believe Tallis General Store on West Street sells them. Finally, there's a Fennel flower. You know that watchtower near Crossbell's east exit? They're usually at the foot of it. They tend to bloom near similar flowers too, so be careful not to overlook them. Once you're done, I'd like you to bring them all to me. Noted. May I ask why you specifically want these 3 flowers? Yellow, blue, and white symbolize the repose of a soul here in Crossbell. Flowers of these colors are arranged into bouquets, which are traditionally offered during funerals. Is this that language of flowers thing? I believe it's slightly different from florography, Randy. I assume they are meant to reflect Crossbell's state colors. I think the 3-colored bouquet was offered at Guy's funeral too. Oh. Sir? What's up? You suddenly went quiet? Well, it's just that I'm a bit disappointed that your generation is so unaware of these old traditions. How do you expect to face the future without knowing your roots? Sorry about that. Sorry to disappoint you, but ain't even from Crossbell to begin with. Ah, fine then. You know what to do. Off you go. Understood. Okay, it's a pretty involved quest. Alright. First, Tallis. Let me guess, you don't have it. Welcome to Tallis General Store. Looking for anything in particular? Yes, actually, we're looking for some Requiem flowers. I see. Did Mr. Quinn send you? That's right. Did he tell you that you'd be coming? No need. He's one of our only customers who buys those flowers from us. Him and a sparse few other devoted individuals. Wait here just a second, okay? I'm sure we have some behind the counter somewhere. Oh, I thought we were gonna have to pay for them for a second there. I mean, the old man didn't exactly give us any mirror. I don't know, he didn't strike me as the kind of person to pull something over on us like that. Perhaps, but it still would have been nice to have received a little more information about the request. I suppose that's true. He only told us the location of the flowers, nothing more, nothing less. Pardon me? Something wrong? I'm so sorry, but it looks like we're out of stock on those Requiem flowers. You're all out. I suppose that's our luck. Again, I'm terribly sorry. Would you mind waiting for a bit? I'll ask the Bracer Guild if they could pick some up for me. The Bracers? I suppose that would be the ones to ask. Lloyd, why don't we go pick the flowers ourselves? Hell yeah, whatever Bracers suck up all the glory when we can do it no sweat. I second that. Sounds like we're on the same page. Going ourselves would be much more efficient than waiting on them anyway. Excuse me, do you happen to know where Requiem flowers grow? I see. You're planning to get them yourselves? Well, you should find some blooming on the edge of Mine's mountain path. About halfway down the branching road that leads towards old ruins, if I recall. We'll go ahead and try looking for them. Wonderful. And once more, I apologize for the inconvenience. Please to make sure to give Mr. Quint my regards. Of course he wouldn't. Somewhere in the direction of a police academy it was set. Oh. Found Leaves flower. Oh, aren't these yellow ones the Leaves flowers we've been looking for? Probably a real pain for regular folk to pick them because of the location, yeah? It is right in front of the police academy. Considering how far apart these flower beds are scattered throughout Crossbell, it's fairly difficult to gather a three-color bouquet. That's why most graves today are decorated with a single type of flower. Three-flower bouquets are usually served for funeral services. Ah, learn something new every day. Tradition must face reality eventually. Yeah, I guess that's true. Randy learned Deadly Storm. East Crossbell Highway. Fennel flower? Oh, these white ones are fennel flowers, aren't they? The location is fairly close to Crossbell City, so I'd imagine people frequently come by here to pick them. Yeah, I doubt any strong monsters are chilling in a place like this. Regardless, weaker monsters are still a threat to children and the elderly. True enough. Shall we get going? Requiem flower. These blue ones are Requiem flowers, right? That took us ages to find. I know, right? Imagine how hard it would have blown if there weren't any here. Now you two. The flowers are here, so it was worth it, right? Yes, we got the job done and that's what counts. And that means back to Crossbell City. Or rather, the cathedral. We're back, Mr. Quint. Huh? Faster than I expected. Did you get the flowers? Yes, please check to make sure we got the right ones. These are the ones, alright. Your efforts are much appreciated, Special Support Section. Just doing our job, sir. Man, getting all those flowers took way more work than I was expecting. Even Talis had run out. What are the odds of that? Well, we still managed. Sir, may I ask you something? What is it? It's not particularly common to gather these three specific flowers, except for funerals nowadays. What exactly did you need them for? You're right that there's no funeral at the moment. Well, since you helped me pick them, come with me and we'll go place them together. You'll get your answer afterwards. What is he talking about? Beats me. I guess we'll see when we get there. Here lies Sire McLean. McLean? Could this be Arios' wife? On to the next one. Here lies... unreadable. This one's seen better days. Can't even make out whose name's on it. perhaps the Gravekeeper knows? Here's the last one. Guy. Here lies Guy Bennings. Is this who I think it is? Lloyd's older brother? The reason I asked you to gather those 3 flowers is pretty simple. I wanted to give them to Guy Bennings and to the families of those that were precious to him. It's only natural to want to show respect to one's closest friends, right? Sir, did you know Guy Bennings? That's right. Doubt I could forget him even if I tried. Back when he was alive, he often came to visit me in my cabin. We'd share drinks and stories till the sun rose. I don't have any family left, you see, so I can't tell you how many times his company saved this old man. I had no idea. I'm starting to understand the nature of this support request. When it came time for his funeral, I felt like I was torn to shreds. Your name was Lloyd, right? So you must be Guy's younger brother. You know who I am? I remember first catching a glimpse of you at your brother's funeral. Then, once I saw that picture of you in the Crossbow Times 4 months ago, it jogged my memory. Ha, your faces aren't anything alike, but I'm starting to see the resemblance. I don't think I'm anywhere near him yet when it comes to being a detective, though. Lloyd. Actually, there's another reason why I submitted such an annoying job to the SSS. I needed to ascertain firsthand whether you 4, Guy's successors, had grown any. And did we make the grade? Well, you finished the job, so that's something. However, you're still rough around the edges. Damn, bit harsh, don't you think? That said, I think the special support section has a bright future ahead. There's a chance you all catch up to, or maybe even overtake Guy one day. And when that happens, come back here and pay me a visit. We'll share some drinks, the same as I did with Guy. Alright, I'm looking forward to it. Your older brother lives on for a lot of people, doesn't he? I agree. For me as well. Catching up to a guy that talented ain't the easiest thing in the world. It's going to take quite a while, I bet. Honestly, that goal might end up being a bigger barrier than taking down the Mafia or Crossbow's corruption, you know? Yeah, you said it. And yet, I will surpass him someday. I have to. Looks like I talked your ears off. Time to head back inside. Thanks to you, I was able to pay my respects to my dear friends. I can't thank you enough for that. If something else ever comes up, I'll make sure to contact you again. We'll be waiting. Goodbye, sir. And the flowers are still lying, right? Okay, Representative Campbell had a quest. This is the house of Representative Campbell who sent the request. We're searching for someone important, right? Sounded like the representative was freaking out. Hey, doesn't Mademoiselle's Grams live around these parts? You happen to know this Campbell guy? Well, about as much as fellow neighbors would know each other. Representative Campbell is an ambitious man. He's so driven by his passion for politics that he often brushes aside everything else. I see. That matches the way I'd envisioned him in my head. Either way, he's requesting our assistance. Let's try asking him about it if he's home. Kitchen. Bedroom. Unbelievable, what a foolish thing to do. We must find a way to retrieve her, Representative Campbell. Excuse me, gentlemen, we're here regarding the support request. Ah, you're the CPD's something or other section? What a relief. We are becoming so desperate that we'd be willing to scrape the bottom of a barrel for assistance. Just a moment. Are you not Ellie, May McDowell's granddaughter? Why have you come with them? It's been some time, Representative. As it stands, I'm currently employed by the CPD. I visit you as a member of the SSS today. Is that the case? So be it. I suppose the mayor is neutral, nothing to be concerned about then. But, Representative, the Imperial faction's cunning members rely on underhanded tactics. What if I catch wind of this incident? I'm guessing you're in a position that could cause some political strife, Ursula. Speaking with Diet members is always such a pain. Excuse me, Representative Campbell. Could you tell us what happened? At least what details you are able to share about the situation? It's just, you look troubled, so... I seem to recall the support request seeking assistance and searching for an important person. Yes, that's right. Well, you see, I've run into a bit of a snag. I suppose I have no choice but to explain the situation to you. But let me make one thing clear to you. This is a politically sensitive matter. The Republican faction has been placed into a difficult situation. This must remain strictly confidential. Understood. We'll promise to keep this under wraps. We swear to remain silent about the investigation, Representative. Very well then, listen up. A certain person affiliated with our faction has disappeared. Could you elaborate? It so happens to be my very own daughter. She has run away from home along with our mate. All that fast just to end up telling us his daughter ran away? By daughter, are you referring to Carla? We were classmates in Sunday school. Oh, really? Well, the representative and his daughter have never been on particularly good terms. Their relationship seems to be entirely comprised of petty arguments. However, the timing couldn't be worse. Our main supporter, Hayway, was raided this morning. Dealing with the aftermath has been cumbersome. That utter foolish daughter of mine. I would normally leave her to her own devices during a hectic period like this. However, recent reports have shown the Mafia's spats becoming more dangerous. It's far too dangerous to leave two girls wandering around on their own. Yeah, I'd be worried about your daughter's well-being if I were you too. Not only that, but if this were to become publicized, the Imperial faction could use it as ammunition against me. You can't let your guard down during the diet, so I would prefer to avoid any scandals. And with that, I request you, the SSS, to discreetly apprehend and return my daughter to me. It all comes down to protecting his reputation, man. Guess that's just how these bigwigs think. I already assumed as much. Well, it's clear that you're concerned for her. There's a fair chance she might be in harm's way after all. Agreed. We understand the situation, sir. We accept your request to search for your daughter. Oh, thank Idios. Bring her back immediately. I can't promise we'll be able to do it quickly, but we'll locate your daughter and provide protection until we've safely brought her home. Very well, I suppose I rely on you for the time being. Proceed however you like. I believe his daughter left a note in her room. That note may prove useful to your investigation. Thank you for letting us know. We'll take a look at that. Representative Campbell runs a strict household. For instance, he enforced small rules like everybody having to eat breakfast together. It's actually quite obvious that his daughter despises such trivialities. I see. His suffocating nature could very well be the cause of their strained relationship. And despite that, she still adheres to his rule and joined him for breakfast. How am I privy to such knowledge? I ate breakfast with them, of course. Between Hayu and issues with the diet, we have much to deal with at the moment. Proceed with your investigation. I urge you to pursue the matter discreetly, so as not to alert the Imperial faction. Between the diet meeting and the Hayu incident, this morning was absolutely exhausting. I had even more appointments in the afternoon, but I came to rest at home for a bit. When I did, I couldn't find my daughter or her mate anywhere. Just as I was beginning to think something was amiss, I found her note. Seems like she's the defiant type. I doubt he'd have any idea as to where she would go. I'm relying on you to find her for me. I cannot allow the Imperial faction to use this as ammunition against me. Is he more concerned for his career than his daughter's well-being? Alright. Looks like she left a message in this notebook. Let's see what it says. I've had enough of you and your insistence on only doing as you please. So now I shall do as I please. Goodbye, Carla. P.S. I'm taking the maid with me. Knowing you, you'll surely go hungry with no one here to prepare your meals. Where do we even begin? My dad's a real piece of work, but his daughter seems like trouble in her own way. Representative Campbell is the type to put his work ahead of his home life. And now that I think about it, Carla would often complain about her father in Sunday school. I wouldn't be surprised if a sudden falling out caused her to run away from home. However, the note fails to provide a clue about where we should begin the search. The only detail given is what she ran away from home by her own volition. Based on the note, I think it would be fair of us to assume something. Suddenly ran from home, right? She must have run away unexpectedly. As Ellie mentioned, a sudden falling out may have caused her to run away. She was pretty angry too based on the note. I would consider it a reasonable deduction. I figure if she planned this whole thing out, the note would have been longer and filled with more resentment. How long ago do you think she ran away from home? I hope it hasn't been too long. Our search will be much more difficult if she's gone far. Good question. Going by what the representative told us, they probably left... this morning? She was present for breakfast, but she had left by the afternoon. I think it's safe to conclude that she departed sometime in the morning. We should still be able to catch up with her. Still don't know where the hell she went off to though. Think we should ask her friends? Could be they've got a clue or two for us. No, I don't think we have time for that. If you consider the circumstances, there's definitely a place she would have visited. We know she left this morning without having planned to. Considering that, there's one place in particular she likely had to visit first. The IBC. I think she may have gone to the IBC. Makes sense to me, our SKP probably needed some dough for her getaway. The IBC is a pretty typical first step for running away from home. If she suddenly left, then she wouldn't have much time to pack. The IBC is certainly a possibility. Shall we depart for the IBC then? She may still be there. Yeah, let's get there ASAP. ASAP. IBC. Alright, we made it. Man, always feels like we're stepping into a much more impressive world when we come here. I presume the representative's runaway daughter may have stopped here. Shall we inquire with the receptionist? Yes, let's ask Lan Fei to see if she knows anything about it. Hello again, Miss McDowell. Do you need help with anything? Hi, Lan Fei. I'm just here to ask you a quick question. Did a lady by the name of Carla stop by here today? I think she may have been here with a maid. Oh, you're right, Carla did come in earlier. She told me she had urgent business to discuss with Miss Croix. With Belle? Yes, Miss Croix agreed to a meeting, so I directed Carla up to the top floor. This all happened about an hour ago. Do you mind if we go and ask Maria Belle for some details? Truth be told, we're conducting an investigation. Oh yes, I think we should be okay to ask with her right now. I believe she's currently in the CEO's office. Thank you very much. Alright, let's get cracking. I'm so sick of this. I've been stuck in meetings all day thanks to those LoH buffoons. Fortunately enough, I don't think the little raid will affect our stock prices negatively. I almost want to kick down their doors and demand compensation for all the hassle they put me through. Your life never seems to get any easier. You could say that again. It doesn't help that Father is who knows how many cells away right now, either. But I digress. Did you need something, Ellie? Judging by the crowd you've brought with you, it doesn't seem to be a personal issue. Yes, there's something I need to ask you, Belle. A woman named Carla should have stopped by the IBC earlier today. Did you happen to see her? Carla? Oh yeah, she definitely came by here not too long ago. I'm acquainted with her given that we're both in the upper echelons of society. She claimed she had an emergency and wished to speak with me directly. She proceeded to withdraw every last mirror out of her savings account. Damn, we were right on the money. Why did she have to speak directly to you for that, Maria Belle? You'd think the receptionist would have been able to handle her request just fine. It had to do with the amount which she withdrew. Under normal circumstances, you would need to fill out the appropriate paperwork. Today was an exception. As you might be able to surmise, I'm unable to disclose the exact amount she withdrew. That said, it was in the hundreds of thousands of mirror. That's an exorbitant amount of money. The truth is, Carla's attempting to run away from home. We've been tasked with bringing her back safely. Do you know where she might have gone, Belle? Oh, well, that would explain her rash behavior. Judging by the amount she withdrew, I would assume she's planning to relocate to a foreign country. That could be it. Is it possible she had a destination in mind? Well, now that I think about it, I recall a conversation between her and her maid about sightseeing in Gransel. I believe Carla ordered her maid to make hotel reservations there. Gransel? Isn't that Libel's capital city? So she's ditching this joint for Libel? She must have departed for the airport then. We may be able to arrive in time if we proceed with haste. We must notify the airport receptionist. Right, we have to hurry. We're sorry to have bothered you. We appreciate your cooperation. See you later, Belle. Sure. They sure know how to keep busy. Ursula Road. Later. Excuse me, do you have a moment? We have a bit of an emergency. Oh dear, what is it? You see, an individual by the name of Carla Campbell should have boarded an outgoing flight to Libel. You're wondering, has that airship finished boarding yet? You said Carla Campbell? If you give me a moment, please. I'm terribly sorry, but Carla Campbell wasn't listed as a passenger. Are you positive? That's strange. I could have sworn that she should have been on this flight. Me too. There's only one flight scheduled today that's heading for Libel, right? Correct. It seems it has not departed yet. Pardon me? I knew it. You're the police, aren't you? Well, aren't you Marsha? One of the maids at Representative Campbell's mansion? You're the maid that ran away with Carla? Yes, that's right. You see, Lady Carla never intended to go to Libel in the first place. It was merely a rumor she spread to throw her father off her tracks. In actuality, she plans to live in the home of an acquaintance in the Republic. She's going to Calvert. Crap, she must have gone to the station then. If you hurry, you might make it in time. I'm sorry my lady has caused so much trouble for everyone. But if at all possible, please bring Lady Carla back home. Despite what she says, she doesn't really want to leave Crossbell. So she's got a reason for all this, huh? Well, time to roll. We'll bring her back for you, don't you worry. If she's Republic bound, the train will be departing in a matter of minutes. No time to waste then. Thanks, Marsha. You were a big help. Marsha, could you inform the representative of what happened? You can leave bringing Carla back to us. Okay, please, I'm leaving Lady Carla in your hands. Platform 1, the train bound for Republic is now departing. If you're not boarding the train, then please step back. Wait a sec, isn't that the train the representative's daughter is supposed to be on? We can still make it, let's get on. And we're driving away! East Coastal Highway. We cut that close. I wonder if we'll get in trouble for not following protocol. Officers should be allowed to board trains during emergencies, so we don't have to worry about that. However, the problem remains. What do we do now? The plan was to convince Carla to return home, correct? Yeah, well, we can't ride on this train forever, you know. And we still gotta drop off those drugs in Ursula, ain't that right? True. We have not come this far to simply give up. Yeah, I know. The next stop is Altair, located on the western edge of Calvert. We should have about 30 minutes. Until then, let's keep trying to persuade her to come home. Roger, I'm no quitter. Alright, I hope our words can get through to her. I'm returning home to Altair after a nice short vacation. My wife and kid are waiting for me. I can't wait to see their faces again. Incredible! Stop behaving. Right this instant. That inspection officer was eyeing everyone up and down. I know it's a routine thing, but it still grinds my gears. You sure I'm patient. We still have a long way to go before we reach the Republican capital, so you should relax a bit. Photos, photos. Finally, our big railway trip. I gotta capture every memory. When you talk Calvert, you have to mention the gourmet dishes. Of course, the hot springs too. I'm so excited for this girls only trip. Trust me, my husband would have been a massive buzzkill. This place is pretty glam, makes it sort of hard to read it in peace. Maybe I should move to a window seat. It's Carla. I finally found her. Now we just have to persuade her to return home. The odds of her listening to reason still seem slim. Our state is my homeland. You see, that's where I'm taking my grandchild. My grandpa's hometown sounds super awesome. He couldn't stop talking about how huge the farms there are. I can't get enough of those. I'll tell you what. I'm sorry, I can't. Now. Don't tell me Marsha missed the train. I guess I'm alone now. Can I handle this? Long time no see, Carla. Ellie, what are you... I mean, what a coincidence running into you here. Are these your friends? Are you planning to spend a day or two in the Republic? Well, Carla, how should I start this? Yep. Yes, exactly. I thought it would be fun to see the Republic's National Orchestra with everyone. Really? When we can accompany each other until we arrive in the Republican capital. I'm so thankful I ran into you, Ellie. Truth be told, I'm feeling a bit down. After all, I'm alone on this giant train and... Alright, it looks like we've lowered her guard. Why exactly are you here, Carla? It's a long story. My father's always ordering me around, filling my life with rules and more rules. Once he doesn't even respect himself. And this morning was a perfect example of it. I will never forgive him for what he did. Which was... Whatever it was, it sounds bad. After breakfast, he walked into my room without knocking. That's it? Of course, it's not just that. What if I was changing? Father's one always lecturing me about how I should always knock. And even though he throws a fit when I forgot to do so, this morning he calmly stormed into my room, commanding me to do this and that, and attend a dinner party in the evening, and he pries into every single small detail of my private life. It's like he can't do anything but that. I can relate to how she feels, but this is nothing more than a misunderstanding between father and daughter. How should we handle this? Did you try locking your door? Why don't you start locking the door into your room? That's not the point. My point is that I can't forgive him for being the only one allowed to be selfish in that house. I've had enough. I'm going to Calvert and that's that. Father can do whatever he wants. Still, it's the first time I've ever left Campbell. The only reason I decided to go through with its plan was because Marsha said she'd accompany me. I think I get the gist of this mess, but she looks hesitant, right? She never had the strongest heart to begin with. Sure, she went out of her house in a hurry, but I bet with every step she became more and more uneasy. Then she should almost be at her breaking point. It's dangerous to travel alone. I understand that. But that's exactly why I'm going in the first place. I'm going to show Father I mean business. If that's how you feel. Carla, could you at least tell us how to get in contact with you in Calvert? I think it might be enough for your father to back off. That was a failure. Okay. When your father's in wrong, I can sympathize with you, Carla. You think so? I knew leaving home was the right decision. Still, it's the first time I ever left Campbell. The only reason I decided to go through with this plan was because Masha said she'd accompany me. I think I get the gist of this mess, but she still looks hesitant, right? She never had the strongest heart to begin with. Your mate is worried sick. I was wondering why I still hadn't seen Masha. No, she must have betrayed me, didn't she? Unacceptably, I specifically ordered her not to tell anyone. Please calm down, Carla. It's true Masha informed us of the situation. But it's only because she's worried sick about your safety. Despite what she says, she doesn't really want to leave Campbell. Her words, not mine. Masha? She really said that? I'm leaving Lady Carla in your hands. That was before we made our way to the station to find you. Well, I think it'd be best if you had another talk with your pops. Instead of running away. Don't it feel better to say what you want to say to his face? You may be right. I had started to think that there was no one on my side. But if Marsha is waiting for me, I don't mind returning home. Everyone, perhaps could you stay with me a bit longer and let me get everything out of my system? Besides, I need to start thinking about what I should say to Father. Sure, we can do that. We should be near Altair, but we still have to ride back. If you want company, we'd be glad to oblige. Lloyd and the others transferred to Altair for the return trip. Then, 30 minutes later, oh, we're finally back. It was a long trip in more ways than one. Sorry for the trouble I've caused. I truly thank you for listening to what I had to say. Please don't worry about it. Who's to say we can't handle consultations? You can count on the SSS to lend you an ear whenever you need it. Thank you. How dare you worry me at a time like this, you daft girl? Speak for yourself, Father. If you tried to come find me yourself, it would have been one thing, but to think you hired other people to do it for you? Excuse me, Lady Carla. My apologies, I was just so terribly worried. Huh, you should be sorry, I'm upset with you too, Masha. Forgive me. But, well, I'm grateful too. Can I count on you to continue to be at my side? Of course, I'd be happy to. Oh, thank heavens. I think I finally made up my mind. I have some conditions, Father. You must knock every time you wish to enter my room. Every time, okay? In addition, you may no longer intrude upon my private life. And if you refuse, I'll be hopping right back on that train and I won't look back. Oh. Well, you have to stay home and behave yourself for a while first. So, are you honoring my request or are you refusing it? Fine, I don't want to be worried or have another falling out. I'll accept your terms. So this is the power of the something or other section. For the time being, allow me to thank you for safely bringing my daughter home. However, not a word of this incident is to escape your lips to anyone. Am I understood? Got it. Our lips are sealed, so you can rest easy. Good. We're leaving, Carla. Huh. Don't you tell me what to do. Ellie, everyone, until we meet again. I can't thank you all enough for what you've done. Please feel free to drop by our house whenever you'd like. We welcome you with open arms. I guess that settled that. Even though that took forever, I'm glad we helped him out. Judging by the conversation, I think they will work things out. What a relief. I hope you're right. I pray they'll be able to work out their differences. Anyway, Lord, we should get going now. There's still some requests we can finish up today. Yeah, good point. Let's get to it then. Hey there, did you just get back from Calvert? I'd also really like to take a trip out there someday. Well, I didn't exactly go there for a vacation. I remember you guys, when you're heading to Calvert? Do you vacation a lot or something? I'm sure once you're used to traveling by train, it can become dull. I recommend you read a book to kill the time. Actually, I finished this novel not too long ago. Here, you can take it. Okay, but that will be enough for this episode. We've been stretching this way longer than I expected to. Until next time then, I'm Ace, and don't get lost.